Hey everyone, welcome back to Sir-Elric TV. I'm your host, Elric. If you're new to the channel, I invite you all to hit the like button and smash subscribe. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you can always stay up to date with our latest videos. Today, we're going to get into some crazy conspiracy videos from across the web. I think I have a few videos that will pique a lot of your interest. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Cuando vuelva la luz, va a volver a explotar. Oye, justo hay una micro ahí, weón.
Yo, that's like what happened in Maui. They said they had recordings of lasers coming down that started the Maui fires, and that's why like these celebrities like Obama, Oprah, Kid Rock, they all paint their houses the same shade of blue. They said the laser beam would bounce off that shade of blue. I don't know though. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. What? Yo, that is pretty crazy though. Like, what is Christ doing on the cross in the background of the Birth of Christ painting? Like, did the artist just mess up, or is that some crazy shit?
These blue umbrellas from the Hawaii fires are circulating the internet of how they weren't affected by the flames when things around them was burnt. And this video from Laserverse is showing different colors reactions and how blue isn't affected. This is for general purposes only, with some people claiming that blue repels radio frequency, and how blue painted objects didn't burn down.
That's why they got
with the
their
Simpsons
houses
blue
that
umbrella
color.
Scene, with conspiracies claiming that it's either aliens or laser devices or Russia who did this allegedly. But the Hawaii Fire Science Program Coordinator at Hawaii Community College made a statement about this and said, "There is no reason the color blue has anything to do with wildland fire behavior. Wildland fires do not burn in a consistent manner, but in a mosaic pattern. The blue umbrellas may have been treated with a substance that prevented embers from igniting them. There were unburned structures surrounded by burned structures. And it was stated by them that the fires started from bare power lines, not laser or aliens targeting us or Russia. But what do you think about this? Is this a coincidence? May all the people that lost their lives in these tragic fires be rest in peace." These blue umbrellas.
See, that's what I was saying about the blue houses in the beginning of the video. It is kind of nuts, though. I'd really like to know everybody's thought on that, though. So please let me know.
Ever heard of the phantom time hypothesis? It's a theory that suggests we've been living a lie. The hypothesis is a historical conspiracy theory proposed by German historian Heribert Illig in 1991. According to Illig, we are not living in the 21st century, but rather in the 18th century. Sounds crazy, right? The theory suggests that the early Middle Ages, 614 through 911 AD, never happened and were fabricated by the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and possibly the Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII. They allegedly altered the existing calendar to place themselves at the special year of 1000 AD, creating a phantom time of 297 years that never existed. Illig's hypothesis is based on the scarcity of archaeological evidence that can be reliably dated from the years 614 through 911, the perceived inadequacies of radiometric and dendrochronological methods of dating this period, and the over-reliance of medieval historians on written sources. The phantom time hypothesis is widely dismissed by mainstream historians and scholars. It contradicts verifiable historical and archaeological data from around the world, and the Gregorian calendar we use today, introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582, is widely accepted as accurate. So, what do you think? Are we living in a fabricated timeline?
That's really crazy to think about, because it's like, yo, can 2012 and will 2012 still happen? We're just a couple hundred years off because of that reasoning? Let me know in the comments below what y'all think.
The darkest conspiracy theories.
Okay.
The advanced ancient civilization. This theory says that at the time of the Egyptians, the civilization was far more advanced than it is now. And this is also how the pyramids could be explained. Because why are the pyramids in the exact same order as the stars in the Orion's belt?
Not the only thing.
And what is more interesting, why is the speed of light and the altitude of the pyramids the exact same number? So many apparent coincidences, and they don't stop there. Because look at the motherboard of a modern computer and compare this to the lineup of the pyramids.
What?
Do you see a certain pattern here?
Alright guys, you want proof that we live in a simulation? Take a look at this clip where a basketball player literally glitches.
That's funny.
I don't know. It's kind of a reach. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've certainly had moments in my life that made me think, are we living in a simulation? But it just kind of seems to me that this guy was trying to find an open spot to throw the ball.
Does anyone want to tell me how in 1927 Universal Studios came up with this picture of the world? When the first picture of the world wasn't available until the 1960s through NASA?
They had globes.
Almost 40 years later? How did Universal Studios know that this is what the world looked like?
Globes.
Especially from space, when we hadn't been to space yet. Does anyone know? Anyone want to guess?
It's literally a recording of a globe.
Now, here's a scary theory. What if the pyramids are more taller than we actually see?
That's pretty interesting. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. Maybe they do go deeper? Who knows? What do you think?
Here's
side of Disney World the company doesn't want you to see. If you look at a map of the park, there's a little green spot in the middle of Bay Lake. Now, there's no description of what it is, and it's completely off limits to everyone, including employees. Around 20 years ago, this mysterious island was actually another Disney park called Discovery Island.
I heard of this.
You take a boat from shore, arrive at the island, and basically look at exotic birds. Fast forward to 1999, Animal Kingdom opens, and it's basically a bigger and easier to get to version of Discovery Island. This sparked the very quick decline of the island. Today, it's abandoned and in ruins, completely overrun by nature. It's also heavily guarded. If you're anywhere near Bay Lake, you can be assured that you're being watched. It makes you wonder if there's more to this island than Disney is.
I mean, there's been a lot of things that were pretty disturbing that came out of Disney, like that just revolve around Disney in general. But like I've heard of this before. I think it's just an abandoned idea that didn't work out. They purchased the island. It's right there anyway. Maybe they'll have use for it later down the road. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Disney was using this as something nefarious behind the scenes.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them are they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west.
Joe
and
knows.
They're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time.
That's
You're
insane.
dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion.
There is a secret document from the CIA that has just been released, and what it reveals is terrifying. It is called the story of Adam and Eve, and it explains how the end of the world will occur. And the scariest part is that it is entirely logical and makes complete sense. It explains that the North Pole and the South Pole shift every 12 to 15,000 years. And when this shift occurs, it triggers a massive apocalypse with earthquakes.
Yeah, the Younger Dryas.
After the apocalypse happens, we go back to prehistoric times, the Stone Age. It also states that the first humans like us lived 10,000 years before Jesus Christ. So we are approximately 13,000 years after the first humans, and we are already witnessing significant events like climate change and other catastrophes.
Yup.
The book also claims that we are the sixth civilization to emerge from the apocalypse. We reach a certain point in civilization, and then everything resets. This would explain many things, such as the Sahara Desert once being green, and Antarctica having forests. Now things are changing, with some places becoming colder while others become hotter. This is why there is mention of the flood in the Bible, and it's likely what happened to Atlantis.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would make sense for a city to be underwater if water wasn't there before.
Yeah, this period of time is known as the Younger Dryas. Happens about every 12,000 years. And basically what happens is the poles shift. You they get rewound. And, places that are cold become hot, places that are hot become cold. Or deserts. Lush green areas go away. And they say humanity has been through 6 extinctions. And one of those advanced civilizations was Atlantis. Atlantis had all this technology. They were probably more technically advanced than we are. And then this great catastrophe happened and basically sent us back into Stone Age. But what are your thoughts on the Younger Dryas and all that? Do you think this has happened multiple times? Or is it all just kind of coincidence?
Y'all, we got fake snow.
Why this shit fake?
Show them again.
Watch this. So this is
styrofoam pieces.
What?
Styrofoam.
What? Yeah, that absolutely looked like styrofoam. I know they can make fake snow. They do it on ski resorts all the time. Plus, not to mention HARP. The HARP is out there. But if anybody can explain this, definitely let us know in the comments.
2 plus 2 equals 6. And let me tell you why it equals 6. Because look at this. There are 2 2's. So therefore, there is an additional 2 that no one talks about because the government.
Because of the government. Yeah, it do seem like that sometimes, though, right? But I mean, hell, there are people out there that have very feasible evidence backing up their claims. But yeah, it could be like that sometimes. There are crazy ones out there.
People can actually watch this footage and believe it's real.
I mean, right now you got it sped up.
Roger, main be undervolt. Stand by 13, we're looking at it.
So tell me, everybody, why haven't we been back?
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
Oh, that's bullshit.
But we destroyed that technology. And
like, why?
It's a painful process to build it back again.
Now, I want you to think about the absolute crazy amount of progression there has been in the last 50 years with technology. It's a painful process to build this again. Is that foil?
Yeah, it is.
Phone call transmitted from the moon to the president.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And there's certainly...
That's the most telling part to me because you can't even put film through certain scanners at the airport without destroying it. But you can transmit all the way from the moon to the Earth through the Van Allen radiation belt. But I know people actually believe we didn't go to the moon.
I mean, it's definitely suspicious. Like, okay, so if we did it in 1969, why can't we do it today? I mean, what, they don't have the technology anymore? They destroyed this said superb technology to what we have now? Because, like he said, there exists the Van Allen belt around the planet, which is a belt of radiation, and everything gets destroyed, life and computers and all that. And the moon is outside that belt. Have we been to the moon? Probably. Are we hiding something? Definitely.
The scariest conspiracy theories.
Historians and researchers believe that Atlantis was a real place, a highly advanced society with impressive technology and culture. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato wrote about Atlantis in his dialogues, describing it as a powerful kingdom that existed around 9,000 years before his time. According to the legend, the city was situated on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and was destroyed by natural disasters and catastrophes.
Africa.
There have been numerous archaeological discoveries and ancient texts that suggest the existence of a lost civilization with advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Some of these artifacts date back to the same period when Atlantis was said to have flourished. There is also many geographic and geological features that could match the description of Atlantis in Plato's account. So what do you think?
Yeah, see, this is interesting because this coincides with the Younger Dryas. Atlantis being destroyed 12,000 years ago. Where, with the Younger Dryas, it's like, the world is spinning about 1,000 miles an hour. And if it were to just stop, the wind and oceans would just catapult. Everything would be catapulted. So yeah, that would destroy Atlantis and explain the Great Flood. However, evidence of this can be found with, it's called the Eye of the Sahara in Africa. And if you look at it, it's insane. It describes everything Plato was describing Atlantis looked like. And if you look at the area itself, you could see salt deposits, like mass amounts of salt deposits, meaning water was once there, water crashed through it. Like you could even see the trace of water, like it destroyed the land. It carved itself into the land. It's pretty crazy. If you made it this far to the video, thank you so much for sticking around. That was pretty crazy. Some of those videos are head scratchers. We're going to be pumping out more videos like this in the future, whether it be reactions or deeper dives into certain subjects. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see, and we'll make it happen. So please remember to like the video, smash subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can always stay up to date with our newer videos. Until next time, adios.